The Korean Mafia boss was about to place an engagement ring on another woman's finger, until one glance at four little boys made his entire world stop. He had no idea that before the day ended, the biggest secret of his life would be standing right in front of him. That day, So Kong-jin, the most feared Mafia boss in Seoul, just stared at the diamond engagement ring resting inside a black velvet box. It glittered under the lights. He felt nothing. His personal stylist adjusted his tie one last time before stepping aside. "Boss, everyone is waiting." Kong Jin closed the ring box. "This engagement ends today." His right-hand man, Choi Min-suk, smiled faintly. "I know. It isn't love. It's business." Kong Jin stood without another word. Outside the private suite, more than 100 bodyguards lined both sides of the hallway. Every head lowered the moment he appeared. "Boss." He walked past them without saying a word. On the top floor of the Grand Royal Hotel, the engagement ceremony of Korea's most feared mafia boss had already become the biggest event of the year. Powerful politicians chatted with billionaires. Underworld leaders exchanged respectful greetings. International business executives arrived one after another. Luxury brands competed to sponsor the event. Every major news station was broadcasting live. Today's engagement wasn't simply about marriage. It was about power. Meanwhile, Ariana stepped out of the elevator with four little boys following closely behind her. All four wore matching navy blue suits. Each carried a small gift box. The youngest looked around excitedly. "Mom, this hotel is huge." Ariana smiled softly. "It is. But remember why we're here." The oldest answered confidently. "We're delivering Mr. Kim's gift. Then we're leaving." "Exactly." She gently straightened the youngest boy's bow tie. "And don't wander off." The four boys nodded together. "Yes, Mom." Ariana had accepted a last-minute request from one of her company's VIP clients. Deliver the engagement gift. Get the signature. Leave. Simple. She never imagined. Life had something entirely different planned. Inside another private suite, Isabella Han admired herself in the mirror. Her wedding stylist smiled proudly. "Miss Han, you look perfect." She smiled. "I should. In a few hours, I'll officially become Mrs. CEO." Her assistant walked in excitedly. "The media says millions are watching the ceremony." Isabella smiled even wider. Everything was going exactly as she wanted. Back in the hallway, Ariana and the boys followed a hotel employee toward the VIP reception room. Suddenly, the employee stopped. "I'm sorry. I need to confirm something with the event manager. I'll be right back." "No problem," Ariana replied. The employee hurried away. The hallway became quiet. David looked toward a large glass window. "Mom, look, you can see the whole city." The boys walked toward the window. Ariana watched them with a smile. For a brief moment, everything felt peaceful. At the opposite end of the hallway, the doors of Kong Jin's private suite opened. Bodyguards immediately formed two lines. Min-suk spoke quietly. "Boss, it's time." Kong Jin nodded once. He began walking toward the grand ballroom. Each step echoed through the silent corridor. Meanwhile, one of Ariana's sons accidentally dropped the small gift box. It slid across the polished marble floor. "Oh, I'll get it." The little boy ran after it. The box kept sliding, straight toward the approaching bodyguards. One guard quickly bent down and picked it up. Before the child could reach him, Kong Jin arrived. The bodyguard handed him the gift box. "Boss, I believe this belongs to the child." Kong Jin casually accepted it, then looked up. A little boy stood only a few feet away. For reasons he couldn't explain, he couldn't look away. The child's sharp eyes, calm expression, even the way he stood, felt strangely familiar. The boy smiled politely. "Thank you, sir." Kong Jin handed him the box. "You're welcome." The boy bowed respectfully before running back. "Mom, I got it." Ariana took the gift box from his hands. "Good job." She gently brushed the dust off his suit. "Let's finish what we came here to do." The hotel employee hurried back. "I'm sorry for the delay. This way, please." Ariana nodded. "Come on, boys." The four little boys followed her down another corridor, disappearing before Kong Jin gave them another thought. For some reason, he found himself watching the little boy a second longer than necessary. Min-suk noticed. "Boss, the ballroom is ready." Kong Jin blinked, as if waking from a brief distraction. "Let's go." He turned and walked toward the grand ballroom, never realizing The woman walking away in the opposite direction was the one person fate was about to place back into his life. Inside the Grand Royal Hotel, the magnificent ballroom sparkled beneath crystal chandeliers. Every seat was occupied. Television cameras broadcast the ceremony live across the country. Politicians, business tycoons, foreign investors, and powerful mafia leaders from across Asia had all gathered for one reason: to witness the engagement of Korea's most feared mafia boss. Soft classical music echoed through the ballroom. Everything was perfect, exactly as planned. At the entrance, CEO Kongjin walked in without changing his expression. The guests immediately rose to their feet. Thunderous applause filled the room. Every camera followed him as he made his way toward the stage. His mother, Madame Seo Hairin, watched proudly from the front row. Beside her sat Isabella Han's parents. Today, two powerful families would become one, or so everyone believed. Meanwhile, Ariana followed the hotel employee toward the side entrance of the ballroom. The four boys walked neatly beside her, each still carrying one of the remaining gift boxes. The employee smiled apologetically. "I'm sorry for the inconvenience, Miss Ariana. The client requested a confirmation photograph after the gift is delivered. It'll only take a minute." Ariana nodded. "All right." She looked at the boys. "Stay close." "Yes, Mom." The boys answered together. On the stage, the master of ceremonies smiled warmly. "Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the exchange of the engagement ring." Another round of applause erupted. Isabella stepped forward gracefully. She couldn't stop smiling. Everything she had dreamed about was finally happening. An assistant presented the black velvet ring box to Kongjin. He slowly opened it. The enormous diamond reflected the ballroom lights. The photographer moved closer. "Chairman Seo, if you could hold Miss Han's hand." "Perfect." Isabella extended her left hand confidently. The ballroom became completely silent. Hundreds of cameras focused on the stage. Millions watched the live broadcast. Kongjin gently reached for Isabella's hand. At that exact moment, the side doors quietly opened. Ariana stepped inside with the four boys. She kept her head lowered. She wanted to finish the delivery and leave without attracting attention. The hotel employee guided them along the back of the ballroom. "Just over there. We'll be done in a moment." The youngest boy looked around in amazement. "So many people." His older brother whispered, "Shoo." Back on stage, Kongjin lifted the diamond ring. Just before sliding it onto Isabella's finger, a small voice echoed through the silent ballroom. "Mom, can we go home after this?" It wasn't loud, but for some reason, Kongjin instinctively looked toward the voice. His eyes found four little boys standing near the back of the ballroom. The same boy from the hallway smiled up at the woman beside him. "Mom." Kongjin's gaze slowly moved upward. His entire body froze. Standing beside the four boys was Ariana. The ring slipped from his fingers. Clink. The diamond engagement ring hit the marble floor. A shocked gasp swept across the ballroom. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Isabella stared at Kongjin. Kongjin. He didn't answer. His eyes never left Ariana. 5 years. Every memory returned in an instant. The promises. The arguments. The heartbreak. He whispered so quietly only he could hear it. "Ariana." Across the ballroom, Ariana slowly raised her head. Their eyes met. For several endless seconds, the rest of the world disappeared. She had imagined this moment countless times. She thought she would cry. She thought she would hate him. Instead, she felt nothing. Only disappointment. "Mom." The youngest boy gently held her hand. "Who was that?" Ariana looked away from Kongjin. "No one." She forced a faint smile. "Let's go." She reached for all four boys. They quietly followed her toward the exit. Only then did Kongjin finally move. He stepped down from the stage, ignoring the cameras, ignoring the guests, ignoring Isabella. He walked after the woman he had never truly forgotten. Kongjin hurried after her. "Ariana, wait." She stopped. The four boys looked up at their mother. Slowly, Ariana turned around. Her expression was calm, but her eyes were cold. Kongjin finally reached her. "I need to talk to you." She looked at him for a long moment, then quietly shook her head. "No." He took another step. "Please. I've looked for you for 5 years." She gently pulled the boys closer. "That doesn't matter anymore." "Ariana." She interrupted him. "Don't follow me." Her voice wasn't loud, but every word echoed through the silent ballroom. "If you have even a little respect left for me, don't follow me." Without waiting for his reply, she took the hands of her four boys and walked away. Seo Kongjin remained standing where he was, unable to take another step. The next afternoon, laughter filled one of Seoul's largest family parks. Children raced across the green fields while parents watched from nearby benches. Ariana spread a picnic blanket beneath a large tree. You boys have 1 hour. No running outside the park. The four boys grinned. Yes, Mom. The moment she finished speaking, they grabbed a soccer ball and ran toward the open field. Ariana couldn't help smiling. Watching them laugh made every hardship worthwhile. Across the city, Seo Kongjin sat inside the back seat of his armored SUV. His phone rang. Boss. It was Min Suk. We confirmed everything. She owns a small event planning company. She lives alone with the four boys. No husband. No boyfriend. Kongjin remained silent. What are the boys' names? Leon, Liam, Lucas, and Noah. Kongjin repeated the names quietly. For some reason, he couldn't stop thinking about them. Anything else? They're at Riverside Family Park. There was a brief silence. Then Kongjin calmly replied, Cancel my afternoon schedule. Boss, you have a meeting with the Busan family. I said cancel it. Yes, boss. 20 minutes later, a black SUV stopped outside Riverside Family Park. Kongjin stepped out wearing a simple black coat and sunglasses. For the first time in years, he entered a public park without bodyguards surrounding him. He didn't know why. He simply wanted to see Ariana again. Meanwhile, the four boys continued their soccer match. Pass. Noah, I'm open. Leon kicked the ball with surprising strength. Instead of reaching his brother, it flew over the field, straight toward the walking path. At that exact moment, an elderly man riding a bicycle lost control after trying to avoid the ball. Watch out. Everything happened in seconds. The bicycle headed straight toward little Noah. Noah froze. Before Ariana could reach him, a tall figure rushed forward. Seo Kongjin. He grabbed Noah with one arm and pulled him safely out of the bicycle's path. The bicycle crashed harmlessly onto the grass. The elderly rider quickly stood. I'm so sorry. I didn't see him. It's all right. Kongjin replied calmly. Noah looked up. Thank you, mister. For a moment, Kongjin forgot everything around him. The little boy's smile felt strangely familiar. Ariana hurried over. Noah. She immediately hugged her son. Are you hurt? No, Mom. The nice man saved me. Only then did Ariana finally look at him. Her expression immediately changed. You? Kongjin stood quietly. I didn't plan this. I was nearby. She looked unconvinced. Leon, Liam, and Lucas quickly surrounded their younger brother. Are you okay? I'm fine. The four boys thanked Kongjin together. Thank you, mister. Kongjin smiled faintly. You boys have good manners. Leon answered proudly. Our mom taught us. Kongjin looked at Ariana. You've done well. She didn't smile. What are you doing here? I came to see you. Her expression hardened. I thought I made myself clear. You did. But I still came. Ariana sighed. Kongjin, my answer hasn't changed. I know. I'm not asking you to forgive me today. I'm only asking for 5 minutes. You've already taken 5 years. Those words silenced him. The four boys looked between the two adults in confusion. Noah whispered, Mom, do you know him? Ariana gently stroked his hair. Yes. We knew each other a long time ago. Nothing more. Nothing less. She picked up the picnic basket. Boys, we're leaving. The four children obeyed immediately. As they walked away, Noah suddenly turned around and waved. Bye, mister. Kongjin raised his hand slightly. Goodbye. He watched them disappear through the park gates. Min Suk quietly walked over. Boss, should we continue investigating? Kongjin kept staring toward the exit. Yes, but don't disturb her. And don't let anyone else disturb her either. Min Suk looked surprised. You want us to protect her? Kongjin answered without hesitation. From today onward, no one touches Ariana, and no one goes near those four boys. Far across the park, Ariana glanced back one last time. Kongjin was still standing exactly where she had left him. Watching, waiting. She quickly looked away. She couldn't allow herself to feel anything. Because she knew, the harder he chased her, the harder it would become to protect the biggest secret of all. 3 days later, the morning rush filled the streets of Seoul. Ariana stepped out of her event planning office after finishing a meeting with a client. Mom, the four boys ran toward her from the waiting area. School had ended early. Can we get ice cream? Lucas asked hopefully. Ariana laughed. You've been asking since breakfast. And she smiled. All right. The four boys cheered happily. Just as they reached the sidewalk, a sleek black luxury car slowly stopped beside them. The rear door opened. CEO Kongjin stepped out. Ariana's smile disappeared. The boys looked at him with curiosity. Kongjin ignored everyone else. His eyes remained on Ariana. I've been looking for you. She folded her arms. You found me. What now? I need to talk. We have nothing to talk about. The boys quietly exchanged confused glances. Noah whispered, Mom knows him again. Leon nodded slightly. Kongjin looked at the children before speaking. Could we talk somewhere private? Ariana shook her head. No. It won't take long. My answer is still no. She held the boy's hands. Come on. Before she could leave, Kongjin stepped in front of her. I'm not here to fight. I'm here to apologize. She looked directly into his eyes. For what? For abandoning you. For believing lies. For destroying us. Ariana remained expressionless. You remembered all that? I remember every day. Silence. Even the boys stopped talking. People walking along the street slowed down, sensing something emotional was happening. Kongjin continued. I've spent the last few days thinking about nothing except you. I don't expect you to forgive me. But please, give me a chance to explain. Ariana smiled. It wasn't a happy smile. It took you 5 years to find an explanation. He lowered his head. I know. She stepped closer. When I cried, did you listen? No. When I begged you to believe me, did you listen? No. When I walked away with nothing, did you stop me? Kongjin couldn't answer. Every question became another knife in his heart. Ariana's voice remained calm. You made your decision 5 years ago. I made mine the day I walked away. She gently moved past him. Goodbye, Kongjin. The 4 boys followed her. Halfway across the street, David turned around. The powerful man was still standing there, alone, watching them leave. Inside the black sedan, Min-suk spoke quietly. Boss, we should go. Kongjin didn't move. For the first time in years, he felt powerless. No amount of money, no amount of influence, could make Ariana return. He slowly looked out of the window. Min-suk, yes, boss. I heard her more than I realized. Min-suk remained silent. He had never heard regret in Kongjin's voice before. What should I do? Min-suk answered honestly. Keep proving you're different. But don't force her. Kongjin nodded slowly. Elsewhere, inside the luxurious Han residence, Madame Co. Hai-rin quietly sipped her tea. She looked at her son as he entered. You saw her again. It wasn't a question. Kongjin sat down heavily. She refused to even listen. Madame Co. smiled sadly. If someone shattered your heart, would you forgive them after one apology? He looked down. No. She reached over and patted his hand. Then don't expect Ariana to. You broke her trust. Winning it back will take far longer than losing it. He nodded. I won't give up. Madame Co. looked at him carefully. Are you doing this because you feel guilty? Or because you still love her? Kongjin answered without hesitation. I never stopped. That evening, Ariana tucked the boys into bed. Good night, Mom. Good night. After switching off the lights, she stood alone on the balcony. The cool night breeze brushed against her face. She thought about seeing Kongjin again. His apology, his regret, his eyes. For a brief second, her heart almost softened. Almost. Then she remembered the night he walked away without believing a single word she said. She closed her eyes. No, she whispered. I can't go through that pain again. Far away, standing on the rooftop of Han Group headquarters, Co. Kongjin looked over the city skyline. He made a silent promise to himself. No matter how many times she refuses me, I'll keep trying. I won't lose her again. Neither of them knew. Someone had been watching every encounter, and that person was finally ready to make a move. The following afternoon, Isabella Han stood inside her luxurious penthouse, staring at dozens of photographs spread across the dining table. Every single one showed the same woman, Ariana. Some were taken outside her office. Others showed her walking with the 4 boys. Isabella slowly picked up one photograph. Her eyes narrowed. So, you're the reason. Her assistant lowered her head. Miss Han, the chairman has canceled 3 meetings this week. Isabella crushed the photograph in her hand. Do you know what she did? Her assistant lowered her head. Miss Han, that woman walked into my engagement ceremony, and everything fell apart. Her breathing became heavier. Millions of people watched Kongjin drop my ring. He looked at her and forgot I even existed. She clenched her fists. She ruined my engagement. She humiliated me in front of the entire country. Her assistant spoke carefully. It didn't look like she planned it. Isabella immediately turned. I don't care whether she planned it or not. She took everything from me. She picked up the engagement photograph that had been prepared for the newspapers. With one angry motion, she tore it in half. If I can't have Kang Jin, then Ariana won't have a peaceful life either. Meanwhile, Ariana was supervising the decoration of a charity fundraiser at one of Seoul's largest art galleries. Workers hurried from one side of the hall to the other. Move those flowers a little higher. No, the lights need to be warmer. Everything had to be perfect. Her phone suddenly rang. Unknown number. She answered. Hello. A soft female voice replied. Miss Ariana. This is Isabella Han. Ariana immediately recognized the name. The woman Kang Jin was supposed to marry. What do you want? I think we should meet. I don't. I insist. I'm busy. So am I. But we're both connected by the same man. Silence. Finally, Ariana replied. 10 minutes. An hour later, inside a quiet cafe, Isabella sat waiting. The untouched cup of coffee in front of her had already gone cold. Ariana walked in. She sat down calmly. You said 10 minutes. You have them. Isabella stared at her for several seconds, then laughed bitterly. Do you know what you did? Ariana frowned. I have no idea what you're talking about. You walked into my engagement, and my entire life collapsed. Ariana remained calm. I wasn't there for you. I was there to deliver a client's gift. I didn't even know your engagement was taking place. I don't care. Isabella's voice became sharper. The moment Kang Jin saw you, he forgot I even existed. He dropped my engagement ring. He walked off the stage, in front of politicians, billionaires, foreign investors, and millions of people watching live. She leaned closer. You humiliated me. You destroyed my engagement. Ariana met her gaze. I didn't ask him to follow me. I didn't ask him to leave you. That's between you and him. Isabella slammed her hand on the table. No, it's because of you. If you had stayed out of my life, I'd already be Mrs. CEO. Ariana slowly stood. Then your anger is directed at the wrong person. You should be asking why your fiancé chose to walk away, not blaming the woman who was trying to leave. Isabella clenched her fists. I won't let you take him. Ariana's expression remained unchanged. I'm not trying to. I walked away from Kang Jin 5 years ago. If he keeps coming after me, that's his choice, not mine. She pushed the chair back. Before leaving, she said quietly, if your relationship can be destroyed just because he saw me, then it was already broken. Ariana walked out without looking back. Isabella remained seated. Her breathing became heavier. She slowly crushed the napkin in her hand. So be it. If you won't leave him willingly, I'll make sure you regret ever walking back into my engagement. That evening, Kang Jin arrived outside Ariana's office carrying a small bouquet of white lilies. Min-suk looked surprised. Boss, you bought flowers? I remember they were her favorite. As he stepped inside, the receptionist looked uncomfortable. Chairman CEO, Miss Ariana left early. Where did she go? I'm sorry. I can't tell you. Kang Jin smiled politely. I understand. He placed the flowers on the reception desk. When she comes tomorrow, please give these to her. The receptionist nodded. I will. Unknown to Kang Jin, someone watched everything from across the street. Isabella. She lowered her sunglasses. Her face was cold. So, even flowers. She quietly entered her car. Drive. Her assistant looked confused. Where are we going? Isabella smiled. If kindness won't separate them, I'll have to do it another way. As the black car disappeared into the night, a dangerous plan had already begun, one that would test Ariana and force Kang Jin to choose between his past and the future everyone expected him to live. Saturday morning, Ariana stood outside one of Seoul's largest children's science museums. The 4 boys could barely contain their excitement. Mom, they have a robot exhibition. And dinosaurs. Ariana laughed. One at a time. Stay together. And don't disappear. The boys saluted playfully. Yes, Mom. They rushed inside. Watching them smile made Ariana forget, if only for a moment, everything that had happened over the past week. Across the city, CEO Kang Jin sat silently in the back of his car. His engagement had been officially canceled 2 days earlier. The news dominated every television station. His phone rang. It was his mother. Kang Jin, have you eaten? I'll eat later. You've been saying that for days. He remained quiet. Madam CEO sighed. If you're going to chase Ariana, do it properly. Don't pressure her. Earn her trust. After ending the call, Kang Jin looked at Min Suk. Where is Ariana? Min Suk checked his tablet. She's at the National Science Museum. With the boys. Kang Jin looked out the window. Take me there. Inside the museum, the four boys were completely fascinated. Leon carefully read every information board. Lucas kept asking questions. David challenged everyone to the science games. Little Noah was fascinated by a robotic dog. Ariana watched them from nearby. Her heart felt peaceful until she heard a familiar voice. Looks like they're having fun. She turned. Seo Kangjin stood a few feet away. She sighed. You found me again. I wasn't following you. I simply wanted to see you. She shook her head. I don't believe that. Before Kangjin could answer, Noah suddenly ran toward a moving robot. Wow! The robot unexpectedly changed direction. Noah lost his balance. Without thinking, Kangjin caught him before he hit the floor. Noah looked up. Thank you, mister. Kangjin smiled. You really like robots? Noah nodded excitedly. I'm going to build one someday. So it'll protect my mom. Kangjin's smile slowly faded. Protect your mom? Noah nodded innocently. Mom says one day I'll be strong enough. Ariana immediately walked over. Noah, it's time. She gently took his hand. The other three boys gathered around. Kangjin looked at all four of them. For several moments, he simply watched. Leon noticed. Why do you keep looking at us? Kangjin smiled awkwardly. I don't know. You boys just remind me of someone. David laughed. Mom says people tell us that all the time. Ariana's expression changed instantly. David, that's enough. The boy immediately became quiet. Kangjin noticed. She always ended the conversation whenever it involved the boys. Why? Minutes later, the boys entered another exhibition hall. Kangjin and Ariana remained outside. I owe you another apology. You already apologized. I know, but I haven't earned forgiveness. She looked at him calmly. And you may never. I'll keep trying. She shook her head. You're wasting your time. I don't think so. Why? Because every time you tell me to leave, you don't walk away first. For the first time, Ariana had no answer. She simply looked toward her sons. They're my priority. They always will be. Kangjin quietly followed her gaze. They're good boys. You've raised them well. She smiled proudly. They're everything I have. Those words stayed with him. Everything. She had built an entire life without him. Not far away, someone secretly took photographs. Click, click, click. Isabella lowered her camera. Her eyes burned with jealousy. So, you canceled our engagement. For her. She zoomed in again. This time, her camera focused on the four boys. She frowned. She looked back at Kangjin, then at the boys again. One of them tilted his head exactly the way Kangjin always did. Another smiled in an eerily familiar way. Isabella slowly lowered the camera. No, that can't be. For the first time, a terrible suspicion entered her mind. She immediately called her assistant. I don't care how much it costs. I want everything on those four boys. Their birth certificates. Their school records. Everything. After ending the call, she looked at Ariana from across the museum. If you're hiding something, I'll be the one to uncover it. Meanwhile, Kangjin watched the four boys disappear into the next exhibition. His chest tightened again. The strange feeling returned. He still couldn't explain it. But one thought refused to leave his mind. Why did those four boys feel so familiar? Every single time he saw them. The following morning, Seo Kangjin stood inside his office. He couldn't stop thinking about the four boys. Their faces, their smiles, even the way they spoke. Every memory replayed inside his mind. Min Suk entered quietly. Boss, the investigation is complete. He placed a thick folder on the desk. Kangjin slowly opened it. Inside were the school records, medical records, birth certificates. Then, his eyes stopped. All four boys had been born, just months after Ariana disappeared. He looked up. The father's name. Min Suk lowered his head. It's blank. Silence. Then Kangjin whispered, Take me to Ariana. At the same time, Ariana had just finished work. She picked up the boys from school before stopping at a quiet riverside park. The boys immediately began playing soccer. Their laughter echoed through the park. Ariana watched them with a smile. Then, a familiar black car stopped nearby. CEO Kongjin stepped out. This time, he came alone. No bodyguards. No Minsuk. No cameras. Only him. Ariana sighed. I knew you'd come. He walked toward her slowly, holding the investigation file. I only need one answer. She looked at the folder. Her heart sank. You investigated us. I had to. He held up the birth certificates. Why? Is there no father's name? Ariana closed her eyes. For several seconds, neither of them spoke. Finally, she whispered, because the man who should have signed them walked away before they were born. Kong Jin's hands began shaking. Ariana. She slowly opened her eyes. I found out I was pregnant after you left. I called you. You never answered. I went to your house. They turned me away. I had no one. So I raised them alone. Every word struck Kong Jin like a knife. He remembered the lies he believed, the accusations, the day he chose pride over love. His voice broke. They're my sons. Ariana nodded. All four of them. The world around him disappeared. He looked toward the field. The four boys were laughing together. His sons. His own flesh and blood. He had missed. Every birthday. Every first step. Every first word. His knees gave out. He collapsed onto the grass. Tears streamed down his face. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Ariana quietly looked away. Those words had come 5 years too late. At that moment, the boys noticed him. Noah ran over first. Mister, why are you crying? Kong Jin looked at him, unable to speak. Ariana slowly walked over. Boys, there's something I should have told you a long time ago. The four brothers stood silently. She looked at Kong Jin, then back at them. This is your father. Complete silence. Leon stared at Kong Jin. Our father. Ariana nodded. Yes. None of the boys moved. Finally, Liam stepped forward. He looked at Kong Jin for several seconds, then quietly asked, Did you really not know about us? Kong Jin shook his head. If I had known, I would have searched the whole world. Liam slowly nodded. I believe you. Lucas crossed his arms. You made Mom cry. You can't change that. I know, and I'll regret it forever. Little Noah slowly wrapped his arms around Kong Jin. It's okay. Mom says people who admit they're wrong can become better. Kong Jin hugged him tightly, unable to stop crying. Leon remained where he was, then slowly walked forward. I'm not ready to call you Dad, but I'll give you a chance. For Kong Jin, that was more than he deserved. Just then, another car stopped beside the park. Isabella stepped out. She held another investigation file. I knew it. They're yours. She laughed bitterly. You threw away our engagement. For them, Kong Jin stood. No, I ended our engagement because I finally saw the truth. You lied. You manipulated me. And because of you, I lost 5 years with my family. Isabella's smile disappeared. Madame CEO arrived moments later. She walked straight toward Ariana. Without hesitation, she bowed deeply. I'm sorry. My son failed you. And as his mother, I failed you too. Tears filled Ariana's eyes. Madame CEO turned toward the boys. My grandsons. She hugged each of them. Even Leon couldn't hold back his smile. Kong Jin faced Ariana one final time. He dropped to his knees. Again, I'm begging you. Please, let me spend the rest of my life making this right. Ariana looked at him for a long moment, then gently shook her head. I forgive you. Hope filled his eyes. But I can't go back. The woman who loved you stayed behind 5 years ago. His tears returned. He nodded slowly. I understand. I won't ask again. But please, don't stop me from being their father. She looked at the boys, then quietly nodded. I won't. They deserve their father. 6 months later, CEO Kong Jin never missed another school event. He attended every soccer match, every science exhibition, every birthday. He became the father he should have been from the beginning. Madame CEO visited every weekend. She spoiled her grandsons with homemade meals and endless stories. As for Isabella, she lost both her engagement and her family's business alliance after her schemes were exposed. She left Seoul in disgrace. One evening, the four boys played soccer in the garden while Kong Jin laughed with them. Ariana watched from the porch. She smiled, not because they had become husband and wife again, but because her sons finally had the father they had always deserved. Some loves never find their way back, but a father's love found its way home before it was too late. The end. Thank you so much for watching this story all the way to the end. We truly appreciate your time and support. If you enjoyed this emotional journey, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment from where you're watching from, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next amazing story. Your support helps us create more heartwarming, dramatic, and unforgettable stories for you. Have a wonderful day, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Red Heart.